Uh, I'm tired. And let me just say this. Let me preface this whole call and this whole live by saying this. Do not adjust your cameras or filters or anything like that. Like, I am here just in all natural form. I worked from home today. It's snowing outside. And I'm be honest, I did not really feel like getting and putting on any makeup just for my live. Not that I don't feel, you should show up and be right, but I just didn't think it was necessary. That, and I have ran out. You guys know I use that Il Maquillage. I did a review. I ran out, so I need some more. Anyway, but I'm here. Doesn't matter what I'm looking like, right? I'm giving you some good stuff, some good nuggets tonight. So if you guys are here, then you're either a part of the Align group, right, where I help with personal branding, managing and balancing your style, your presence, and your brand. Or you're on my Instagram feed, or you are looking at this on the YouTube channel. But regardless of how you got here, I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. So I'm Crystal Nicole. I am a personal brand mentor or strategist, and I help women, go-getters, those who are success-driven. I help them to personally brand themselves or brand the woman behind the business, right? To get very clear and concise on what they want to do so that they can pivot and do all things all through their brand. So tonight, the topic, if you guys saw it, it is basically you have 50'levn ideas, but clarity is not one. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because we are serialpreneurs, we're creatives, we're entrepreneurs, we're moms and wives and all of these things, right? We're employees and we're business owners, and we have all these ideas that we want to do, right? Or that come to us, that may be passions, that may be imparted upon us, and we really want to fulfill them. But what I found is that a lot of us are not clear, one, on who we are, or clear on what we want. And when you're not clear, it's very hard to move forward. So you become stuck. You become going through a repetitive thing where you will justify not moving forward, right? So tonight I want to talk to you guys about being very clear or gaining clarity. And I think I have like 5 or 6 steps that can help you gain clarity so that you can get past being stuck. You can quit thinking about an idea over and over and over and actually move forward with it, right? So like I said, as entrepreneurs, creatives, coaches, that's who we are. We have stuff that comes to us all the time. And not only do we have that, we are like very multifaceted. So I struggled a lot with, because I'm still in corporate, and then I run my business, Crystal Nicole Agency. And I struggled with, I'm part of the era where, it wasn't like so open for everyone to just, be an entrepreneur and you could be that open with that at your job. So you kind of had to keep all that separate, right? But now we have social media, and that's blending all these things together. And, like now if you meet somebody, if you're interviewing or whatever, 9 times out of 10, you're going to go on social media and you're going to check them out, right? So I had to be very, very careful, because I still, I had a boutique, or, I was doing styling, but then I also was in corporate. And you're very much aware. People are looking at your profile. They're looking at that even before hiring you. And not only that, is as an entrepreneur, I didn't want it to come off that I wasn't focused on my job, that I would also be doing that, right? Times are different now, but because of that, I really, really struggled with, how do I stay true to both things, right? How do I wear, the corporate Crystal hat here, and then wear like the business entrepreneur hat here? Do I have 2 LinkedIn profiles? Do I have 1? Should I have my profiles private? All of that. But now we're in a day and age where we actually can have that all in one, right? Because it's about, people are really focusing about who you are. They want to know what you do outside of work. They want to understand you to the core. That even helps now with getting hired, right? Because it's all about values, right? Basically values now at work, or culture. That's the thing. Culture now at work basically is, do you fit in? And that's not necessarily always discernible on your resume. It's like, what do you do in your off time? Is this someone that, we can kind of get along with? So we're at a point now where we don't have to separate everything, which is really, really good. But we're also not very clear. We're not clear on how to deliver what it is that what we want, or what we want to do, and how to present that. So, okay. As entrepreneurs, creatives, and coaches, ideas and passions are going to come to you guys at all time. And it doesn't mean that you can't do those, but it's very hard to move forward if you don't know the first or the next steps of how to do that, right? Or if it's what you even really want to do. So instead of you thinking about that you have to be different in so many different ways, right? So like at work, I have to be this one way. And then, at church, I'm another way. And then I'm like this with my friends. And then I'm like this, in my business. That is exhausting and can be very exhausting, basically, right? And it's hard to keep up. So what I encourage you guys to do, the one thing that's going to help you be able to bring all of that together is to get very, very clear on who you are and what it is that you want to do, right? So tonight, that is what I'm really going to focus on, getting very clear and concise on who you are and what you want to do so that you're not confused, you're not unsure. When you don't have clarity, that's what starts to happen. You start to not know how to take that next step. You start to question your passions, or should I be doing this? You start to justify, putting off this project from this week to this month to this quarter to next year. That's how you end up having an idea that you've been basically had for 10 years. Trust and believe, I know it because I have been there, right? And it's because I wasn't clear on who I was. I knew what I wanted to do, I think. Right? I knew how I wanted to present myself, I think. But that's not clarity. When you get clear, you know it, and no one can deter you from that. And then you're very clear and concise on how you're going to move forward with that. So you guys follow me? All right. So again, when you're not, you're going to sit. So you're going to sit. You're going to justify not doing things. You're going to deny yourself. You're going to start actually allowing other people's opinions to then be yours. Right? Say there's an idea that you want to do and you should do it. People have told you have gifts, but you sit and you wait because you're waiting for another instruction on actually how to do it, right? Or you're waiting for like reconfirmation to come when, honey, you already got it. Just start making moves towards it, because when you don't, and when you pause, and when you allow other people's opinions to get in the way, you start living their life. You start living their expectations and not yours. And then you get further unclear, right, on where you are and what you want to do and what you need to be going towards. All right, so why does someone call me every time in the middle of this? Okay. So that's the dangers of not being clear. That's why you may have been sitting on an idea for years and never have pushed it and done anything. Or it's like, well, I'm still working in corporate. I can't do that as well. Or, whatever it is, you will continue to be in that cycle until you make the decision that you have to be very clear on what you want and to go forward. So in this, and I'm going to try my best to get this in like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. You don't have to stay that long. You can watch it. Or if you're cooking, do whatever you need to do. Just put me on in the background and be listening and see if you resonate with this. So here are the 5 things you can do to get very clear on who you are and what you want, so that you understand your next steps, the first and the next steps, and so that you can become unstuck, right? That all is underneath being aligned and having a personal brand. So if you don't know, the whole point of being here is about personal branding and understanding the importance of that. It's not about branding your business. It's not about putting on a front, but it's about being understanding and aligning who you are so that you can make those decisions. All right, number 1, start with yourself. You have to absolutely start with you and understand the power of you and the power of asking yourself why. So first, before anything else, I don't care if you're still in corporate. I don't care if you have 5 businesses. I don't care if you just have the ideas in your head. Get really, really clear and get really, really intentional on understanding you and what it is that you want. So take the time, ask yourself, what is it that I want? And when I say get comfortable with asking yourself why, it's because this is an exercise you should always do in any decision that you have, right? Anything that you do, you want to continue to ask yourself why, right? So like even in the way you dress, you want to put something on. Why are you putting that on? And you want to make sure that your answer always relies or always centers back to because it's what you want to do. It can't be anything external. Well, I'm doing this because I need to do this because my family, or because I will get this attention, or because whatever. That's when it becomes external, right? Everything that you do that you can be very clear on and that will stay with you and you can be passionate about and see it through, it has to be rooted in, it's because it's something that is seriously for you. All right, so again, anytime there's anything you want, keep asking yourself, why? Why do I want to do it? And make sure that that answer is rooted in you. Number 2, no matter how crazy or how ridiculous it is of the things that you want and desire, reach for them anyway, right? Put them out there. So you've decided what it is that you want, right? And you know that it's rooted in you. It doesn't matter how crazy they may sound. It doesn't matter how like far-fetched, like don't worry about all of that. A lot of times what happens is like I still wanted to work corporate because income is great in corporate, right? Especially in tech. But at the same time, I wanted to launch this business, right? And I didn't know how to figure out how to do both. But the point is this: when you put something out there, when you put your intention out there, right? When you set your intention, like for real, it is not your business how it happens. You put it out there, you say that this is what you want, and things will start to align, and I'll get into that, but things will start to align for you there. You just put out what the goal is, right? You just be intentional that this is the end goal. This is what I want. I don't care how crazy it sounds. I don't care that I cannot foresee it, but this is what I want, and I'm setting my attention. So number 1, figure out what it is that you want. I don't care how many things, but figure out what it is that you want. And make sure that whatever it is, it's what you want because you want it, not because you're trying to, not for anybody else. You cannot, you will, just don't. 2, no matter how ridiculous it is, stay with it. Let that be. I don't care if you're like, I ain't gonna say be no astronaut. I don't care what it is that it is. It's like, okay, I really want to do this. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how black you are. I don't care how white you are. Whatever it is, write it down that that's what you want to do. Okay? 3, and then within that, get out of the way and stop worrying about how it's going to get done because it's really not your business as to how. It's just when you put your intention out there, when you set it to be, it will be. Trust me on that. Trust me. Number 3, we got to get better at this because I was not. You have to learn to make a decision. If you are very undecisive or indecisive, one of them, I'm just going to choose. I think it's indecisive. I just made a decision. If you are that way, right? Like if you will go into a parking lot and drive around for 5 minutes and you're late because you're trying to find a parking space up front, like boo, decide on a space, pull in, quit wasting time and get on in there, right? Stop being indecisive. Make a choice. I don't care if it's scary to make the choice. I don't care if you don't understand what's going to happen after the choice. But you need to take action. Make a choice. Get comfortable with learning how to make a decision. Think back I'm sure we all have had times where we've hemmed and we hawed, right? There's actually like this thing on YouTube. It's a story about him and haw. You guys should look it up, and how basically these two characters, they were supposed to be building something and they hemmed and they haw, and that was their name. And because of that, they lost out. That's the whole concept of it. But when you hem and haw, right? When you overthink stuff and you refuse to make a decision, you are actually making a decision. You're deciding over and over and over to not decide, to not take control. All right? So let's get comfortable with making a decision. Even if it's the wrong decision. Remember, you've already set your intention. Your intention was for XYZ, right? You've already set this up here. Now you need to start making decisions on how to get there. Whether it's right or it's wrong, trust and believe. Because you've set your intention, you will then align to it. This is just something you just have to know. This is just something you have to believe. And I believe it because that's how my life operates, right? So get used and comfortable to making a decision. No matter what, like my mom always said, and it's in the Bible, whether it's good or it's bad, or it's right or wrong, he's always with you. The Father is always with you, right? So he will correct you, or he'll be with you in glory, in your happiness of making that decision. So let's get very comfortable with making decisions. Stop hemming and hawing, stop going all the way around things, and let's just say, hey, this is what we're going to do. All right, that was number 3. I think I jumped over something. But number 4 is then that intention, right? Really, really be focused. This is what I want to do. This is why I'm doing it. I don't care how ridiculous it sounds. I've made my decision, and my decision is my intention. right? So you see how that just starts to flow? And what's happening now is that you're putting focus here. That is what gives you clarity, is when you focus here. When you stop looking at everything else around and everybody else around and everybody else's Instagram page and Facebook and business and house and home and jobs. When you stop looking at everybody else and start really focusing on you, that is when and where clarity comes in. So one, start with you. The power of asking why. Keep asking yourself why, and make sure that that comes down to you. Two, no matter how ridiculous it is of things that you want to do, put it out there. That's what I want to do. All right? It's not my business on how it's going to happen. That's just how it's going to be. Three, learn to make a decision. Quit being so indecisive, right? Think about how many things you're losing out on because you just won't make a decision. You won't press go. You're still like playing double dutch. I mean, I don't know. I never learned double dutch. I didn't. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to cornrow, and I don't know how to fry chicken. So there you go. Okay. 4, set your intention. What is it that you want? Put it there, and that's what it's going to be, right? Things are going to start to align when you start setting your intention and being intentional. And I've talked about that before. Being intentional doesn't mean that you have everything planned out. Being intentional means that you are very aware of the things that you are doing. You're not walking around on autopilot. You're not allowing your life to happen to you. You are being very intentional in what you're doing, the decisions that you're making, and you have a point and purpose for it. All right? Number 5, stop focusing on the details of how it's going to happen. And I know a lot of these are kind of like blended all together, and I kind of went all over, but it's still the same message. Stop focusing on the details so much. Sometimes we get lost in the sauce. I'm like that. Like, the more options I have, or the more, like, if someone gave you a choice, right? And it's like, okay, do you want A or B? It's very easy to choose. It's either A or B. But as soon as they say, do you want A or B, or 1 and Z, then you're like, oh, snap. I mean, like, you're looking at numbers and letters, and you get really, really confused. Stop worrying about all the little details. You've already set your intention. You've already rooted as to why you want to do what you're doing, and you're moving forward with that, and you're making a decision. Quit worrying about how you're going to get there. You will get there with your intentional steps, okay? So those are the 5 things that I have found that has really helped to get really clear on what you want to do, and then how to start making those first steps. This you can take with anything. This is not just in business. This is not just in your career. This is in anything. Get very, very intentional. Understand that everything starts with you. Quit asking your girlfriends or your husband or your mom or your sister or your cousin, what do you think about this? Should I do that? Should I do that? Or no? Or should I, like, quit. Stop. I do this. I do it a lot. And I've said it before. So I challenge any of my friends, if I'm constantly coming to you and I'm asking you, what do you think about something? Please ask me, what do I think about it? Put it back on me, right? Because I have to get comfortable with making decisions on my own and being accountable for whatever that is, as well as you do. You've got to get comfortable with making decisions on your own. Stop worrying about the details. Don't get lost in the sauce. All that can be very, very distracting, right? I've set my intention. I've made my decision, and I'm moving forward, right? This is really to get you unstuck, guys. You do not need to be on an idea for 5 and 7 years. And trust me, that happens because I've been there. And I know for some people who don't and they can make decisions, wonderful. That's great. We're trying to get there. But what I'm saying is, this will help you to be unstuck. This will help you to get very clear, and it'll help you bring peace to yourself and why you do what you do. And that's when you're aligned. And that's when you're like, you know what? Yeah, I can walk into an interview, and yes, I do have a business on the side. And hey, you want to see that page? Because I also offer that. You will get so comfortable in who you are and why you do it that you won't have any fear, right, of expressing that to whomever and at whatever time. Bonus. This is the bonus. Give yourself permission to do just that. Give yourself permission. Stop thinking about the excuses. Stop thinking about the effects of everyone else. It is time for you to put focus on yourself and for you to show up for yourself. Because when you don't, there's no way you can then be an effective employee or business owner or creative or mom or wife or whatever. You have to Give yourself permission to have wants and desires, and permission and the space to do it, right? So that's the cherry on top. So to get very clear and to get very concise and have clarity in all your 50'levn ideas, 5 things. Start with yourself and continue to ask yourself why. No matter, this is 2, no matter how ugly or ridiculous it is, whatever, let it be. That if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. You've already rooted it to yourself. 3, learn to make a decision. Quit driving around the parking lot for 20 minutes trying to get that space. It's a handicapped space anyway. You ain't even supposed to be in that space. Just quit doing that. 4, set your intention and be intentional with the actions that you take, right? When you wake up in the morning, when you know, what is that goal that you wanted? Keep it in mind. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that every little step you got to account, but keep it in mind. And that's what I'm trying to get to. 5, stop focusing on the details, right? It's not really your business how it's going to happen. Like, get out of God's way. Let him do what he's going to do. You already said it. You've already rooted in yourself. You got your intention. Move out the way. Get out the kitchen. Allow him to handle that. You just keep walking with intention, right? And then the bonus of all of that, none of this is going to work unless you give yourself permission to do so. We question ourselves way too much. We discount ourselves way too much. And when you do that, you only bring more and more confusion to yourself. Because at that point, you have everyone else's opinion in your head. And the reason why it's frustrating, you can't walk in that, you can't start that business, you can't get to the next level, is because you're still somehow subconsciously trying to prove and please everyone else that you've questioned, allowed to question you. So stop. Give yourself permission. All right? So that's it. That's it. It's really just 5 things and a bonus. I hope that you guys got something out of this, but this really came from a lot of the questions that were coming into the group. So I do look at everything, those questions that I put out on a daily basis, is to get you thinking, but it also helps me to understand where you are so that I can meet you where you are on these lives. Now, I have a really, really, really great and fantastic announcement. I am very, very excited about it, and it is all around clarity and all around alignment. So as you guys know, I'm a personal brand strategist, a mentor, a curator, or whatever. My whole thing is, my mission in life is, I feel like everybody deserves to be seen and heard authentically, right? Seen not in like a vanity way, but seen as far as acknowledged, and heard as far as understood. Everyone deserves to be acknowledged and understood. And a lot of women are wanting to step out and go into their businesses or go to the next level in their career, and they just don't know how. So with that, I come in and I help you to personal brand yourself so that you can take that, which is who you are, right? Fully aligned, and you can pivot and you can go to any area and it will be aligned with who you are and what you want. So I have developed a program. I'm really excited, y'all. I mean, I'll show you a little bit about it. I'll tell you a little bit about it because it's not fully launched. It launches in March. It is a 12-week program, and it's like 8 individual courses that you go through. It's one-on-one coaching with me. So if you're ready to take that next step, if you feel stuck and don't know how to get to the next level, if you're not clear and concise on what you want to do and how to present yourself, this is the program for you. It is called Aligned and Branded. It's 12 weeks and it starts in March. And we break down, I mean, this is a discovery like none other, right? We start with you understanding who it is, what it is that you like, why you like it, what's the mission that you're trying to say, what your passions are. We even start looking into things like about your style, your presentations, your presence. How are you showing up to the world? How do you sound to the world? What is the message? What do you want people to feel, right? After they've been around you and they've been in your presence. And then we start talking about your business, your brand, your passion. Okay, so now we have all of that. What is it that you want to do, right? Now we've aligned all those things. And once you come out of this program, you are fully branded in yourself, right? Then you can decide on what business you want to go into, or if you want to go for that promotion, or if you want to go for that job or whatever. But I'm really excited. It starts in March. I'm going to have more details. If this is something you think that you that would help you, as I know it will, reach out to me. Send me a DM. I'd love to talk to you and maybe kind of see where you are to see if this is a good fit for you. But again, this is for the woman who is like success driven, who wants to take herself to the next level, who has a passion, who has, maybe different things that she wants to do, but she doesn't know how to bring it all together. This brings you all the way together, right? This is a program for you. It starts in March. I already have 2 ladies who have signed up. So because it's one-on-one, and I mean, like, we go through one-on-one consultations. It's not a group thing. And coaching, I don't have but so many spaces left until the next time I open this up. So I think I might have to look and see, maybe 4 more spaces, or that will be honestly too much for me, because it is one-on-one and it is intense. So reach out to me if you guys need help. Continue to come here to show up for yourself as you guys are doing. I really appreciate it. But again, about getting very clear and having clarity, it really starts with you. Tune everything else out. Starts with you, and then at the very end, give yourself permission to even be that. So thank you for joining. I'm so glad that you ladies are here, and gentlemen. Yeah. And you know where to reach out to me. Continue to be in the group. Thank you guys for being engaged. And thank you for not being scared of me being on here with no makeup on, because I didn't feel like putting none on, and I need to order some more. So thank you guys. I love you much. And remember to live with intention until next time I see you. And if you're in North Carolina,